Welcome back to Hot Water Wrestling. Just here to talk about a few things concerning TNA wrestling, especially about the Dixie Carter interview that is on YouTube in its entirety, and pieces of it were on last night's Impact. Let's get right to it. Let's read between the lines. When Mike TNA asked her what Hogan's role would be in the company, listen to how she answered it. Basically what she said, if you read between the lines, is that Hulk Hogan will not only be getting in the ring, but he will also be heavily involved in the booking and the creative aspect and just overall steering the company in a certain direction towards greatness. I know a lot of people are nervous about this. We all know what happened in WCW with Bischoff and Hogan and all the other personalities that were involved, and it just was not Hulk Hogan, and it just was not Eric Bischoff. Vince Russo, among a slew of other people, a lot of these bean counters they brought in to run the company, they all played a huge hand in the destruction of WCW. But one thing's for certain is that Hulk Hogan has proven that, he likes to run in a pack. He likes to have his clique. And people who aren't on the same page with Hulk Hogan usually find themselves packing. What can I say about this? I really enjoy TNA's product, okay? I do. Sometimes they're just the worst wrestling company to ever exist. I will admit that. But other times they're just brilliant. Okay, and just I've been tuning in, especially the last year. I really loved 2009. I thought 2009 in TNA was superb. It started off a little slow. People were not cool with the Mick Foley push because they felt that he took attention away from some of the younger guys, which is true. But looking back on it, I mean, I'm biased because I'm a huge Foley fan, but looking back on it, I think it was a really great thing. Because now that Hogan's come in and this whole big picture thing come in, Mick Foley actually had a day in the sun, and he's left an imprint on the face of TNA wrestling that, is good for TNA wrestling overall. Mick Foley held their title, and Mick Foley had his day in the sun with the company, and he's probably got many more great days to come. But anyways, I think 2009 has just been a really great year for TNA. It's really just been interesting. And I think a lot of you guys would agree with me that there's just been a lot of awesome moments. And we all felt that TNA was starting to really pick up some steam in 2009. And then here comes Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff, which completely changes the landscape of everything. And we're all just waiting to see what they're going to do with it. We're all just waiting to see what they're going to do with this opportunity to work with TNA wrestling. Some of the things I think you're going to see is you're going to see the production value of TNA go up. I think you're going to see some more more well thought out feuds. I think you're going to see some characters that we're used to seeing utilized in a certain way, utilized in a different way. There are going to be a lot of changes, but I do think that some of these changes are going to be for the good, and at least it's really going to keep TNA wrestling interesting, even more interesting than it was. Even if we watch it fall apart and it doesn't do well, it's still going to be very interesting. It'll be heartbreaking, but it'll be interesting. I'm expecting better things for TNA wrestling now that Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan are involved. I really am. I'm going to give them both the benefit of the doubt. I am a little nervous, yes I am, but I have to give the guys the benefit of the doubt and have an open mind and see exactly what they can do. I'm really looking forward to that. There's no information on whether or not Ric Flair is definitely going to join TNA and wrestle. It's been alluded to, though. It has. There's been little tidbits of information coming out. I don't really feel too comfortable with Ric Flair wrestling in a major wrestling promotion in the United States after his glorious send-off at WrestleMania 24. I do love Ric Flair to death. I think he's phenomenal, but I really think that he should stay retired. I wouldn't mind if he came in as a manager and managed kind of like a new Four Horsemen type group, okay, and maybe got roughed up in the ring and maybe even got pulled in for a special match or something. But for him just to all out come back and compete and just be Ric Flair the Nature Boy and wrestle, you know, I'm not like really comfortable with that, but you know, if it happens, it happens. Hopefully Hogan and Dixie Carter have discussed this issue with the old guys. One of TNA's biggest problems has been that they push these old dogs, you know, Kevin Nash, Sting, Jeff Jarrett, Mick Foley, on down Booker T, Scott Steiner, on down the line, okay? Kurt Angle, of course. Is that, you know, they brought in these older guys, and that's why 2009 to me has been a very exciting year, is because they kind of got away from that and they brought some new things in and some fresh things in that you know, really made 2009 awesome. I'm wondering how that's going to work, because you know, Hogan is someone that would go and push those old dogs more. And I wonder if Hogan's going to shock us all and not play it safe. Not play it safe this time. Maybe in the beginning he will, just to get his bearings and to get started. But I'm really hoping to see something new out of Hulk Hogan creatively, something new out of Eric Bischoff creatively. And I'm hoping that TNA will continue to utilize their younger talent and continue to build feuds between new wrestlers and fresh you know, scenarios for them to feud on. You know, Matt Morgan, you know, he's been around for a while, but you know, I think he still is great and deserves a big push. And you know, just tons of TNA wrestlers I'm not thinking of right now. Samoa Joe should stay in the picture. I know none of these guys are like really young, but I think you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll force Jay Lethal to get rid of his Black Machismo gimmick. I do like the Black Machismo gimmick, don't get me wrong, but I think, you know, it's time to hang it up and for him to be Jay Lethal, because he is very exciting to watch in the ring and he's a good wrestler, and I think that he can make it on his own as Jay Lethal, especially under the guise of this new leadership here in TNA. Well, anyways, I'm going to get going. I could probably sit here and talk for a while. I know I've rambled a little bit, but I guess that's kind of the whole point of the blogging thing. You just kind of ramble and speak your mind. So keep tuning in to Hot Water Wrestling, and I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.